Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well this morning, and welcome to the Blue Ridge Parkway Foundation's Insiders Report for our Kids in Parks program, Keeping Kids Outdoors During COVID-19. It is indeed a strange world we're in, and this webinar is about 20-25 minutes, and it'll show you some wonderful opportunities to get your kids outside and go on an adventure and earn some really cool prizes in the process. My name is Carolyn Ward, and I'm the CEO of the Blue Ridge Parkway Foundation. And we're joined today by Adam Rhodes, who's the Associate Director for our Kids in Parks program. The program started in 2009 in an effort to try to help get kids unplugged and outside. There was a decrease generally in kids using the outdoors. Trails were seeing less and less use by kids and families. Just think about driving through your own neighborhood. You often don't see children outside playing anymore. So the program started as an effort to try to help get this next generation of stewards back out into our public lands. Even here on the Blue Ridge Parkway, where we have one of the most visited national park units in the entire country, only 7 to 11% of the visitors that come to the parkway bring children. Now, at that kind of rate, when they're in charge, we may not have a next generation of stewards. So our program started as an effort to create family-friendly, fun activities to help encourage getting back out into our public lands. Now the program has over 12 states and 200 locations across the country. We even have 600 doctors writing prescriptions to get children unplugged and outside for their health and the health of our public lands. Well, in this modern day, when we've got COVID-19, we're facing even more challenges with getting kids outside. So we thought this would be a great opportunity to introduce some of our new e-adventures so that you can take your kids outside safely and feel calm and comfortable and secure in going outside and exploring the great outdoors. So I want to, if you scroll your mouse over your screen, down at the bottom, you'll see a Q&A section. You can click that and submit questions during the presentation, and we'll try to address as many of those as we can at the end. Those that we don't, we'll try to send out answers to everyone, as well as a copy of recording of this presentation. There's a little microphone on the left-hand side that says mute down at the bottom. And if you have trouble hearing or your audio is giving you difficulty, you can call in directly to a phone number instead of using the audio on your computer. So without any further ado, Adam's going to give us a nice introduction to Kids in Parks, taking our kids outside safely in this crazy COVID world we're in. Adam?
Thank you, Carolyn, and good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully we can give you some great tips on getting kids outdoors during this time. So first, we're just going to go over to a presentation that started, but we're not going to stay there. We're going to do some live demos to really get you in the nitty-gritty of how Kids in Parks works and how you can use it in your own life with the kids at home. So let me share my screen. Here we are. It's all about getting kids outdoors during this crazy COVID-19 time. And we've got some great ways to do that. So first, just a little overview of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about how Kids in Parks works. Carolyn gave you a brief introduction about why we exist, but I want to get into the details of how the program works and how you can use it to get your kids engaged in the natural world. We're also going to talk about the COVID-19 impact, how it's impacted our program, how it's impacted our parks and public lands, and how it's impacted families. And then, of course, we want to provide you with resources to help you get your kids outdoors and engaged in the natural world. So first, just a little background on Kids in Parks. The big component of our program is our Track Trails program. Every trail that joins our network is designated as a track trail. And these are equipped with brochure-led self-guided adventures. They're available right at the trailhead. You roll up, you'll see 4 different brochure holders right on the sign that has the map. there are 4 different topics that kids can choose from depending on what they're interested in that day, or maybe what resources are available. So maybe they want to do the flower power brochure in springtime, or maybe they are looking to really get some physical activity in and they pick up the Animal Athletes brochure. Or if you have different kids with different interests, they can all choose their own adventure and you can do it all at the same time. And all of this information on track trails and what activities are available there, that's all available at kidsandparks.com. So rather than just talk to you all about it, we're going to head over to the website and take a look at it there. So give me 1 second. All right, so here we are at kidsandparks.com at the homepage. When you get here, you will be invited, if you aren't signed up already, this big orange button, to sign up for free. Just like making any other account, name, email, password, all that good stuff. And once you set it up, you can add multiple kids to one account. So parents can keep track of all their kids without having a bunch of different accounts to keep track of and log in and out of to register different hikes. But what will happen once you're signed up, let's go over to a window that's already signed in so we can see what that looks like. And so here we are, we're on my account now. And you'll see it no longer says sign up, it says track an adventure. But first, we've got to find an adventure, right? And you can do that from here at the top, this Find an Adventure tab, or down here in the middle of the page, this Find an Adventure block here. And we can narrow it down to the state we live if we want to. So for instance, we can go to North Carolina and just see the trails that are in North Carolina. And as you can see from all of these tacks, there's a pretty broad network of track trails already in North Carolina. We've got a whole lot of opportunities to get outdoors and bounce around and explore new places. But we want to see which ones are really close to us in our own neighborhood. So if we live in Asheville, for instance, you'll see we've got a lot of places that we could go to within a short drive. All of these boot tacks represent a hiking track trail. The orange beaker here represents our citizen science trails, which are really fun and have science equipment that kids can use on the trail. These blue baskets are our disc golf trails, where kids play a round of disc golf, but along the way they learn about the trees and the birds and the insects that they might find along their the route of their game. We're going to go to a hiking trail right now. So we picked the Blue Ridge Parkway right outside of Asheville. If you click the tack, a little preview dialog box will pop up, just telling you briefly what trail you're looking at. But if we want to see more, we hit this details button. And once we're on the trail webpage, you'll see a map of the path of the trail, some description of the trail itself and the park that you're in, some features and amenities if it's ADA accessible, some pictures of the trail, and then a selection of the activity brochures that are available at the trailhead. Any one of these has a digital version that you can click if you hit download brochure here at the bottom. And that'll bring up a PDF version that you can print out at home or just look at on your phone. But what we want to do is we want to track an adventure. So you can track an adventure right from this brochure bar. You can track it here at the top of the trail page, or you can track it from the home page as well. We're just going to track it here from this top part of the trail page. So if we click Track an Adventure, you can see on my account, I have two kids under my parent account, myself, and myself with my name spelled backwards. So we both went to the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then you'll just go through the registration process, answer a few questions, and the goal at the end of the registration process for the kids is that when they register, they get free prizes in the mail. And we want this to be a more than one-time experience, right? We don't want them to find a trail, hike it, have a good time, and forget about it. We want them to come back time after time after time. So these prizes are a positive reinforcement. The more hikes they do, the more prizes that they can earn. And eventually, hopefully this really internalizes it and they bring outdoor recreation as an important part of their life into adulthood. So things they can earn a nature journal, they can earn trail stickers. Each trail has its own custom sticker that kids earn when they register at that trail, and they can put that in their nature journal as sort of a passport system. They can earn patches and bandanas and drawstring bags and all sorts of fun stuff designed to make their next hike even more fun. So basic process of the Kids in Parks program: you find a trail on the website, you go to the trail and hike it, you register your adventure, and you earn free prizes in the mail. Repeat that as many times as needed. At least that's how it normally goes. But as we all know, we are not in normal times. Parks and trails across the country are closed, including many parks and trails that are track trail hosts. Schools across the country are closed. So at the same time, kids are stuck at home. Many non-essential businesses are closed. And parents that even are working from home. So the whole family is stuck inside. And we all know, the couch is fine for a little bit, but after several weeks, we're all itching to get back outdoors and make a connection to the world again. So we are trying to address that, meet those challenges head on, and innovate in a way that will extend beyond this temporary crisis that we're in. So we developed a series of adventures that we called e-adventures. Now these are no contact activities. You don't have to go to the trail and reach your hand into the brochure holder, potentially spreading germs or picking up germs. They're available right on your own phone. They have flexibility to do anywhere. So if your local track trail is closed or you can't access it for whatever reason, you can do these in your own backyard or walking down your own neighborhood street. And they're mobile friendly. So you can use these on an iPhone, an Android phone, a tablet, whatever you have, and they'll dynamically resize and change the layout to fit your device. But rather than just talk about it, again, I'd like to go over to the website so that you can actually see how the e-adventures work. So let me switch over real quick. And let's get out of our registration from earlier and go back to the home page. So again, we're on the home page here. We're going to scroll down to that Find an Adventure block that we went to earlier. And you'll see under the search bar a block that says e-adventures, TrackRx, which is our program where we've partnered with doctors across the country to prescribe outdoor activity to kids. And then we have our backyard adventures, which are another great way of getting outdoors right in your own backyard. But today we're going to focus on our e-adventures. So go to this little block and click Learn More. And that's going to take you to the e-adventures landing page, where you can see the collection of e-adventures that we have developed. Most of these are adaptations of some of our most popular activity brochures that are available at Trails. But we took advantage of the format to make them fun and interactive with animations and clickable checkboxes and all sorts of cool things. So for instance, let's just check out Animal Athletes. Now this is one of our most popular brochures. It takes kids and has them train with the greatest athletes in the animal world, and hopefully pick up some of their skills. It's a great way to get kids physically active in a fun and educational way. So what they're going to do is they're going to check out any of these animal themed exercises. They just tap on one to expand it. So hummingbird hand swings. They're going to flap their arms as fast as they can and see how many times they can do it in 20 seconds. As you can see, there's an animation that illustrates the exercise for you, and then a timer so you can keep track of your progress in the exercise. There's the cottontail speed dash, where they're running as fast as they can and trying to find something to hide behind, just like a rabbit running from a predator. There's the hawk stance, balance, grasshopper long jumps, where they're trying to jump as far as a grasshopper can, ant push-ups, where they're strength training with ants that can lift objects that are much heavier than their own body weight. And there's the whitetail high jumps, where they're jumping as high as they can. Now this is a great group activity. Kids get competitive, seeing if they can do more than the other kids. And at the end of it, they all sleep better at night. And at the end of your adventure, you can go through this as many times as you want, as much as your kids are willing to continue doing these exercises. But eventually you're going to hit this track your adventure button, which will take you into the registration field. Do the registration and you'll earn a free prize. And let's take a look at another one. So back to the eAdventures landing page. Let's check out Flower Power. Now this is one where kids are learning about the relationship between flowers and pollinators. It's beautiful springtime right now. Flowers are popping everywhere. The forest is full of color, so are our backyards. But we learn that colors aren't just for show. They attract different kind of pollinators. It's all about the relationship between pollinators and flowers. So maybe they found a yellow one and they found a red or pink one. And then they learn about what kind of pollinators might be in their own backyard. So a lot of kids know about bees and butterflies because we see those hovering around flowers a lot. But they may be surprised to know that bats and birds are also pollinators. And then they can learn about the structure of a flower, that it's not just one thing. There are a lot of structures contained within the flower. So there's this diagram where kids can hover over the name of the part of the flower, and it highlights that part on this diagram. And then they can look at a flower that they find in their own backyard and see if they can find and identify those structures in real life. And again, after their adventure, they're going to want to track their own adventure and earn their free prize. Okay, and you can click any of these adventures here on the eAdventure splash page and do them right in your own backyard or anywhere that's available to you. That's totally awesome and good to do, but there is another way that you can register your eAdventures. If you have a track trail near you that is open, and people are allowed to go, or you just want to do this in the future, keep this in mind for when things do start opening back up. if you go find a trail, so let's go back to North Carolina here in the Find an Adventure block. And we scroll in. Say you live near Blowing Rock, and we want to go to Price Lake. Price Lake also has a paddling adventure that you can do. So if we click details, we can see, again, the map of the trail, some information about the trail, some pictures of the trail, and again, the selection of brochures. Now, one thing you may see that's different on this bug out brochure is the e-adventure button underneath track and adventure. Now, from any trail, if we click the e-adventure option on any of the brochures, it'll take us to that e-adventure to do. This one, bug out, a lot of fun. There are bugs everywhere, so they're always easy to find. You learn about insects, how they differ from other arthropods like centipedes and spiders, the parts of an insect, how to identify those parts. So if you can find a bug and look at it close up, you can find its head and its thorax and its abdomen and its legs. Learn about endoskeletons versus exoskeletons, how insects differ from us and their own dogs or the birds they see. A little scavenger hunt to find some common insects. Dragonflies are always fun to watch at a lake. Arthropod architects. So learning about, even if we don't see the bugs, we might find evidence of them in the structures that they build. So spider webs up in the corner, or a wasp nest, which are abundant around my house right now, or an anthill. And then after they've had a great time, learned a little bit about the world of insects and arthropods, remember to track the adventure. Now, if you came from a trail page and did the e-adventure through the trail page and you track your adventure, it is going to automatically fill in all the information. It knows that you did the bug out e-adventure. It knows that you went to Price Lake. It knows what state you're in. So it saves you a couple steps in the registration process, which is always helpful. And it gives you credit for Price Lake so that you will earn the Price Lake sticker when you register. Super cool. So just to briefly go back to the home page and go to the e-adventure landing page again, just to give you a really quick preview of the other adventures that are available that we didn't go over. Hide and seek is a fun picture scavenger hunt that even non-readers can do. You know, they can recognize the picture of the spider, they can recognize the picture of the lichen, they can recognize the picture of the bird. Tap them as they find them, track their adventure, get their prize. And the last one we did is forest bathing. And you may not be familiar with forest bathing, but maybe you are. It's simply a way to de-stress and practice some mindfulness in a natural space. Focus on your senses. And I know right now, everybody is hearing about the virus 24/7 and maybe feeling a little stressed and overwhelmed. So everybody could use 10 to 15 minutes to de-stress in a beautiful natural environment. And that's what that is. Very simple, and hopefully you come away refreshed and ready to take on the world again. So in addition to the e-adventures that we've done, we've also been doing things for a while that you may not know about. Our blog, which you can access here on the top bar of our website, or down here at the bottom of our website, is constantly updated with fun ways to get outside, some new activities to do that aren't available on any of our brochures or e-adventures or any of the other avenues we use to give kids opportunities to get outside. So this is a good supplemental area to check back on, see what's new. For instance, you could learn to create a nature journal, get some nice weekly prompts to help guide your nature journaling and structure your nature journal in a way that makes sense until you feel comfortable doing it on your own. There's also, just collections of resources that we've found or developed that you can explore. So I encourage you to look through here, see what's available, and utilize it as appropriate at your own house. The other thing that I would direct you to is our parent teachers bar. Any page you go to, this top bar will be available. So you can go to parents and teachers. Now here if you're wanting some feedback or some tips and tricks on getting outdoors with kids, starting hiking, this is a good resource here. There's some videos and some articles and a whole bunch of stuff that'll help make getting outside with kids a lot easier and make it successful and pleasant for everyone. But we want to go over here to this resources tab. And this is where our printable Tractivities live. So if you have a printer, you can print these out. There's a whole bunch of topics arranged by season that will be appropriate for that season. So for instance, right now, if we wanted to do an activity in spring, this is a great way to start joining the activity of the world waking up, all the animals getting out and active. HIIT the trail, HIIT, that stands for high intensity interval training, which is a pretty popular trend in the exercise world. So this is a whole lot of fun, kind of like Animal Athletes, but a little more focused. If we get out into summer and we're wanting to explore the fireflies as they start popping up in fields and our backyards, this is a great way to do some seasonal, fun, supplemental activities that engage them in nature, give you an enriching experience, and just fill the time and help everyone live happy lives even in this strange new world. So those are some of the things available to you. I encourage you to check out our website, explore it deeply. These are only the tip of the iceberg in terms of the things that we offer. So thank you all for watching. Let us know if you have any questions, and we will do our best to answer them.
Thank you so much, Adam. We do have a few questions and we've got time for just a couple. And just to let everybody know, we will send out a recording of this webinar, as well as answers to all of the questions to participants on the call, especially those that we can't get a chance to answer now. So we had a couple questions that are sort of related, Adam. Several people want to know how a park becomes part of a track trail, and in association with that, are there any plans to create any more citizen science track trails?
Yeah, so to become a track trail, typically it starts with a conversation. A park reaches out to us and asks, how do we become a part of this? And then we start looking for ways to fund the trail. We have an agreement with the trail. We work with park staff to figure out what kind of interpretive and educational brochures are appropriate for the site. And then we start developing the stuff. We do everything in-house, so we're pretty quick and efficient, and we're always looking for new places to get kids outside and partner with their communities to enrich everyone's life there and bring new visitors in. So it really does just start with a phone call, and sometimes it's a family that has been with our program for a long time, suggesting this to the park. And the park had no idea that this program even existed. And then they reach out to us, and the rest is history.
And there is a place on the bottom of the website that you can contact us, and you can send an email to Adam if you have questions about becoming part of the Track Trail program. And
as far as citizen science, yes, we definitely want to do more citizen science trails. They're really fun, really hands-on and interactive, and every time we've watched kids on them, they're just in it. It is awesome.
And we did have a question of someone wanting to know if we've done history, and we do have track trails that are historical in nature that will take you on a journey through the past, or even around the National Mall looking at monuments. We had one more, we have several questions. We have time, I think, for a couple more really quickly. Someone wanted to know if this could be facilitated in a group, and can you use this with groups of kids?
So definitely, the more the merrier. Some of these are really great for organizing guided hikes, because everybody has something to keep them on track, and there's not just one person talking at the front and the kids in the back are starting to wander off and their minds drift. So this is a great way to keep everybody right on the same page. But as far as registration, we definitely encourage it to be individual families registering, so that, as they move through the program, that they have their own account, that parents have their own account, and it's not going through a scout leader or a church group leader or a teacher that may no longer be the best point of contact for sending prizes and all of that.
Right. And we had one question about, can we do things like this for older kids? And I just wanted to let everybody know that the average age of our Nature Trail Disc Golf folks that register, last time I looked, was 19 years old. So there are certainly opportunities. We've had 55-year-old people email and register and want their prize for going on their adventure. So there are other questions. We'll try to get to as many of those as we can when we email everyone back. I do want to honor the time that we said we would be here together. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us, for helping to discover new ways of getting outside and enjoying our time in nature. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.